The last time you were talking to me about watching the watcher, watching the watching, you know,
Yeah.
which is something I've done in the past. It's worked real well, but refocusing on that in the last week has been really has has been the right advice at the right time.
Yeah.
And I read Nisargadatta every day, and he was talking a lot about that in the last week too, and what I was reading. Talks about the same thing. It can bring me right there. It can bring me right there, but I can't but I don't seem to stay there. But there's more space so that when, things go wrong or or just sometimes throughout the day, I'm able to touch the watching and the mystery. And in the mornings, of
Yeah.
course, lots of time. It's been so beautiful. Oh my God, it's been so beautiful out there in the forest. So green, you know, in the morning with the thousands of leaves, with the sun just shining through them and the water trickling and all the weird birds,
Yeah.
everything
Yeah.
from like vultures. You have vultures. You know what vultures are?
Yeah, I know vultures. Yeah.
Yeah. But these are they're called turkey vultures. So they're a little different than the vultures that, I don't know, some kind of vulture and um falcons and herons. You know what herons are? They're like these long, skinny birds that are always around water. They just make this
Yeah.
silhouette. And they're about probably 2 feet tall, and they'd be like a blue or grayish, or sometimes white. Just huge wingspan, beautiful. Sometimes there's a heron that goes out there in that same area, and
Wow.
all the little birds, orioles and blue jays and robins. And it's all amazing.
Wow. Yeah, I've seen those photos. They are very beautiful. Very beautiful. I even said that if they were to be framed, they will make
Yeah.
very beautiful framed photos. Mm.
But it's funny. I mean, I take the pictures, and then I look at the picture, and then I look at pictures aren't anything compared to what it is. The colors are always a little off, or you can see details in the distance that can never get captured by photo. It's just the expanse of it. Obviously, you can't. I should get out there with a better camera, but I'm not actually out there to take pictures. But mushrooms, too. The mushrooms are amazing. Just how
Yeah.
fast things erupt. It's amazing.
Wow. Yeah, I've never seen those kind of mushrooms before. I only know those original ones, the traditional ones.
There's some out here that grow really big they grow on the sides of trees, and it's like a ledge. And there's one that's called reishi. It's from China, and another one looks kind of like it, that's called turkey tail. That's got this kind of these fanning out of these colors, and it's hard like wood. The mushroom is actually as hard as wood,
Wow.
and it's and they're medicinal. People take them, you know, for I don't know, various health conditions, and they're really sought after. It's beautiful stuff.
Yeah. 'Cause, 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 Maybe I should visit that place.
Was just thinking we should get you to visit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Make some money. If I make some money, I'll fly you out here. I would love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would love to. Yeah. Yeah. About the watching, uh, actually, there's just watching, but the door of it, it's just not there. It's just not there. Or what seems to be the watcher can only be in imagination, can only be in appearance that never even appeared. It is always recognized that there's just watching, but nobody's watching. Somebody watching is an imagination appearing in this watching. So if something is imagined, it's not there. It's already not there because it's just imagined. It doesn't exist. In the same way as this talking is happening, there may be an imagination that, oh, I'm talking to somebody, but there's nobody here. As I always say, when this is looked for, it is seen that there's nobody here. But when it is not looked for, when it is imagined that there's somebody, it seems as if there's a real somebody. That's why when this recognition happens, somebody would say, uh, oh, what a relief. But it's not actual, it's not that there's a real somebody behind that who says such words. It's just everything appearing like that or appearing as that. So there's always that emptiness. This seeing is empty already. It's not a man or a woman. It's not a human being seeing. It's just seeing. And to say something is seen, it can only be labels. You know, when you say I see a computer screen, that's just a label. You see, there's just seeing, but nothing's seen. What seems to be a computer screen, that name is just a name. It's just a label given to it, but it's not a computer screen. It's nothing. So there's just seeing and nothing is seen and nobody's seeing. So it's already empty.
The word
There is
empty.
no real somebody.
The word empty is exactly where I've been landing with it. Just a feeling of it's like no, I mean, I've got this ringing in my ears that happens when I get old, so get ready. But it's just like this,
Mm.
and I notice it about 3 times a day, and then I'm able to just go on, but it's always there.
Mm.
But just a matter of noticing that it's there, even though, you know, my mind doesn't necessarily see it. That's how it feels like with this consistent seeing. Sometimes the busy mind can rest on it. And it's taught itself that it can rest on it, even though it doesn't rest there all the time. You know,
Yeah.
and lately when I feel it, you know, sometimes it feels solid. Sometimes the silence feels solid. But when I rest on the seeing, it feels empty and supportless. You know,
Yeah.
if I'm not part of the body, if I'm not the body, where do I live? It's supportless. That's what it's been feeling like lately.
That's beautiful. You know, like when you say today it's Tuesday, you know, it seems as if Tuesday is really there. But when you start to notice, it is seen that there's no Tuesday.
How could there ever be a Tuesday? Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Besides, it's Wednesday there, right? So it's just two spa, two. If this side is Wednesday and this side is Tuesday, how can that make any sense?
Yeah. Doesn't make any sense. Same as time. It can only be viewed right now on the computer screen, but you cannot see time. There's no time. It can only be imagined. Yeah, yeah, this is already wordless. Mm. As I always say, it doesn't need any word to be spoken for it to be what it is. But words may seem to appear in it as well. And they may seem as well to be pointing to something, but they're not really pointing to anything because this is nothing already. It can never really be pointed to because even what seems to be the pointer is already it. So it's everything. There is no pointing to it. There's no getting to it. There's no finding it. There's no reaching it because there's only it. So talking about it um, is also it's appearing as talking about it. So it's there's really no escape. It can never really go away. If something says it's gone or now I lost it, it can never really be lost because it's in the first place, it was never found. It's always here. So trying to get it is already happening in it, as it. Searching for it is already happening in it, as it. So everything is it. There's no separation. There's no dividing line. Yeah. Nothing can stick out on its own. Everything is this. And this can never be seen. This can never be known. This can never be held in view. Because even what seems to be the knower or what seems to be the seer is already it. It may happen to dream itself as an individual who's looking for it. But when that is recognized, it is recognized that there is no individual. So it is seen that that individual, it was already it appearing as an individual. There was no real separate individual. So in that sense, an individual does not exist. So this doesn't really exist. It's existence itself. And no one can talk or can speak on behalf of it. No one can claim to know it. Because even that is also its appearance as that. So it's everything. It's everything.
So you don't claim that the words that you speak are closer to the truth than the words of Mickey Mouse? I don't know, whatever.
I would say the truth is everything. Even the words of Mickey Mouse are just appearing in this.
Truth includes lies.
Yeah.
Because lies are what is.
Yeah. Everything is allowed to be as it is. Yeah. Without judgment. when it seems as if people are talking, discussing, making discussions, they seem to be meaningless in a way. It is seen that their discussions and everything they talk about, even when they talk about the world, the universe, it's just not going anywhere. It's just, it is seen as just everything appearing as that.
Yeah. You know, bliss. Bliss.
Yeah.
You can reach it through meditation and through yoga. You can reach very blissful states, even dance. Feels like so much of my spiritual journey in the last 5, 10 years has been to seek bliss, almost like pleasure. But
Yeah.
that's not it. That's not it. It's pain too. You know,
Yeah.
Euphoria is a better word. You know, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sensations in the
Yeah.
chest, butterflies, kind of feeling like you're floating. You know,
Yeah.
but that too is just what appears. You know,
Yes.
anything that's a goal will rob you of your victory.
I would say it's also good, when there seems to be a desire to seek for it, that can also uh, be allowed to express until that desire goes away. So as well, if there seem to be a strong seeking happening, it's not good or bad. It's just what's happening. So it can also be allowed to be as it is to express until it goes away. So as well, here that is seen as just also this expressing as that. So this doesn't mind whether there is a meditation, whether you recite mantras, that's also disappearing. So everything is beautiful here. Everything is okay. Everything is appearing in this as this. So there is not wrong or right. This doesn't impose any suggestion that we should stop seeking, stop doing this and that. If it comes up, it should be done until it doesn't come up anymore. Yeah. When it's being done, it's being enjoyed in a way by this. This is enjoying itself. It's not that there's somebody who's enjoying seeking, enjoying meditation, bliss. It may seem that way, but it's not really like that. It's just everything as well, also expressing as somebody who's enjoying. So it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Can you hear my daughter?
This in a way, sorry?
Can you hear my daughter? No.
No, no.
Last week she was crying. Now she's laughing hysterically. I thought maybe you'd be able to hear it. It's a much prettier sound.
Then last week.
Than last week.
That's nice. That's nice. So very nice. Good to my Do you, when you spend time by yourself, do you ever uh, get bored? Or
Not very often.
yeah,
Not very often. Sometimes, not very often, but sometimes when I'm out there in the forest, I think this is weird. This 53-year-old thing, hunk of flesh, has opted to go and sit alone for half an hour every morning in the forest. Whatever for has this thing decided to do this? You know, if you start to think of
Yeah.
yourself as separate from yourself, then you start to see yourself very objectively, you know, and how odd it is that that's what I do. You know, sometimes I
Yeah.
feel maybe it's because I feel the birds looking at me like that, or the squirrels looking at me like that. And like, wait, isn't this one supposed to be driving a car? You know, but not
Yeah,
very much. I used to get bored. I don't get bored much anymore.
yeah, that's beautiful. Beautiful.
But a lot of what entertains me is my mind chatter. So I don't know. But what's the difference between being entertained by the heron or the beaver or your mind chatter? It's all part of this,
The
right?
same. Yes, yes. But the noticing that the mind chatter is there, that
And that
should
you're
be,
and that you're not the mind chatter. Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Nisargadatta was talking about people were asking him about his mind in the thing I was reading the other day, and he says it's like a typewriter ribbon. You know, old typewriters how they work, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So you put the paper in, you start typing, and then the ink sometimes runs out, the little ink roll thing. So, and then you just type, and then all of a sudden it makes no impressions on the paper.
Yeah,
He says his mind
yeah,
is like a typewriter with no ink. It just, the mind keeps going, but it just leaves no trace.
exactly, exactly.
That's
Such a good example.
that's what I
A good
feel, if
example.
I'm out in the forest and I've been thinking about something. Sometimes I need to think about things, right? I got shit to organize, I got to pay my bills, I got to do stuff for work. Thoughts need to, that's part of that. But so I realize it's just been thinking, then it's just, I just let it go like waking up from a dream, just poof. And the thoughts don't keep spinning. And that helps, I guess.
Yeah, because thoughts in most cases, there are always thoughts of the past and thoughts of the future. They are never here and now. So when you bring yourself back to this, when you don't allow your attention to be with thoughts of the past and thoughts of the future, just be here now, then it seems as if everything seems to calm down, seems to be stable. But when the attention runs around with thoughts of the past and the future, the mind will seem to be. But even in the midst of that, the watching, the seeing of that is where your resting place is.
Yeah.
The seeing of that, because usually when there's a mind chatter, the attention sticks with that mind chatter. It seems as if it's one with it, but it's not really one. It's just that there's that space there that is watching the mind chatter, but itself is not a mind chatter. It's just there.
Yeah. My life is like a rich movie filmed from a million different angles. And it's there in the library. And there's a lot of ways to reflect on that movie from different angles for entertainment, for knowledge, for thinking about the world. This morning, I found myself thinking a lot about a woman that my dad married for 4 years when I was a kid. Just who she was and what her face looked like, where she is now, what she was doing. And I thought about that movie in a way I'd never thought about it before. And it was gone. It's like YouTube. You could just watch next video. There's no harm in that,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
if you're not grasping, you're not grasping.
yeah. There's no attachment. Thoughts, they may come and go, but here there's no attachment to to you know certain thoughts. You don't think, they're just appearing, appearing, disappearing, appearing, disappearing. Even the think of thoughts is another thought appearing as well. So yeah. the your whole entire life is just a thought. So It's never really there. It's just this.
Oh, sometimes you say things. I just have to write them down. Sorry. That's such a good way to think of it. The irony. Your whole entire life is just a thought. Layers and layers of thoughts and thoughts about thoughts, thoughts of others. It's nothing but
Yes,
thoughts.
exactly.
And thoughts, they're not there.
And not there. So where is it now?
Yeah.
If thoughts don't appear, where is the life? Where is your life? Where is you even?
Do you like music?
Music.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do listen to music, but it's not something that's I usually listen. I do listen to it, but without any intention to switch it on just to listen. Whenever it's playing, then I would listen, then it goes away, just like that. Mm.
Have you ever been part of performances where music is transformative?
Yeah, I've been part of a school choir when I was still in high school. I used to be a soloist there. I would lead some songs. Opera.
Yeah.
Yeah, those who sing like uh
Like Western
oh,
opera or
oh, oh.
like a Western Christian
Ye-
opera kind of thing? Or
Yeah, you know those who sing opera with violins,
yes.
when there's a soloist there. So yeah, it used to be like that. It used to
Oh
be
wow,
like
that's
that.
great.
Like yeah. I
But
used
I'm
to love
thinking
Pavarotti.
Pavarotti.
Yeah.
I'm thinking more of like a what's the word? Improvisational, um creative. I mean, the stereotype is African drumming, right? And you've got drumming that's not planned, maybe maybe lots of people dancing and drumming and music, and then people maybe singing without knowing what they're going to be singing, and people playing instruments without a plan, and then all of a sudden it turns into something just completely beautiful that sounds like it came from God. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
I think I know. Yeah, I know what you
You,
mean.
you certainly know what I mean.
I know what I mean.
But it doesn't happen very often. You know, some people are better at it than others. Uh, Sometimes people get together and they play it and it just doesn't work out. You know, people try to notate everything or say, well, we should be doing it this way, and that ruins it. But the pure playing from the spirit and dancing and from the spirit. In America, all that stuff came over from Africa, right? we have, blues and American jazz, improvisational music that came through the generations, and a similar tradition where just completely, off the top of your head, a group of people make something that's, or just sometimes God peeks through, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. That reminds me of those that kind of music in some part of Africa where they would just sing and just play some drums and then just circle the fire, go around the fire.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the
Some they
stereotype right
reach the
there.
state.
Yes,
Yeah, some they'll reach the state of let's
trance,
say Nirvana. Yeah.
trance.
They would just
It,
yeah.
yeah. And there's Northern African, with pan pipes, or not pan pipes. I don't know, whatever these little horns they play on in like Algerian stuff. There's Muslim traditions that are, like that. And then, the drumming is definitely part of that, and American jazz. And then certainly there's all sorts of kinds of music that have drawn on that sort of improvisational spirit where, anyway, it's of people, but not by people. It's more than people. People
Yeah.
have to step aside. People have to figure out how to step aside in order for that really to arise. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Some when they are in that trance, they would perform different miracles. They will heal people. Some they will just walk on the fire, sleep
Right.
on the fire, but the fire won't burn them.
Right.
Yeah.
It seems like a pretty good metaphor for why we're here,
Yeah.
for the mind and for
Yes.
all of it and for all of the crumminess in the first place. To break free, you know, to break free and step aside so that we can improvise and become larger than the,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. There is as well here in South Africa a traditional church. We call it a Zion Church. They normally do those things. They'll just go around in circles, you know, making like different sound, singing until somebody is somehow in goes in that trance, and then you will prophesy and say, the reason why so and so you are sick is because somebody did this and that.
So it's Christian?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
but it's traditional. It's
Yeah.
mixed.
Yeah.
It's mixed with the ancestors and
Zulu.
Christian, but yeah.
Yeah. It's funny because that's like my mom's church, My mom's got is in a Baptist church. It's, amazing choirs, usually, a lot of black people and um beautiful singing and then they'll whip people up in a frenzy and people start to dance. A lot of dancing, a lot of I'm sorry, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I didn't mean to do that. And people will crawl. People will crawl to the altar and the preacher will touch them.
Yeah.
But it's real because they believe it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And something shines through, something really does shine through. I've seen it. It's
Mm.
amazing.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Beautiful. I used to do that as well at the church that I was attending. Used to like pray and people would scream and just run away, hold them, cast outs, do counseling, you know. I even went to a traditional church around here in Durban where they used to play drums, sing African songs. You would talk to people's ancestors, interview
That's the kind of
them.
shit I'm talking about. That sounds more like it than singing Pavarotti. I like Pavarotti too, but
Yeah,
oh, wow.
yeah, but yeah,
That's a beautiful feeling though, isn't it? Being part of that, being lost in that. That's a beautiful feeling.
it was quite a journey.
Yeah. All the name calling, all the labels, all the fear of Satan, all of that mixed in, all of that pain mixed in
Yeah,
the same message somehow.
only to find out or to discover that there's nothing exists. It's just this dreaming itself to be all those characters. They are no real individuals. It's just everything. Dreaming to be that person, dreaming to be that pastor, dreaming to be that prophet, dreaming to be that thief.
Yeah.
It's just totality.
Dreaming to be
Yeah, it's
Jesus.
beautiful. Sorry? Yeah,
Dreaming to be
yeah,
Jesus.
exactly. Exactly.
Dreaming to not be Jesus. Dreaming to be unworthy of Jesus.
Yes, yes. Some teachers would say, stop imagining and just be. Because really, everything that seems to be going on, life, your life, and everything is imagined. This somehow uh, uses its imagination, its plays by imagining things. You know, it's how it plays. Imagining to be evil. Everything, everything. Good or bad, right or wrong.
Do you think the birds imagine to be birds?
uh,
Think the cows
yeah,
imagine to
it's
be
also,
cows?
yes, it's also everything imagining to be Charles, dreaming itself to be Charles. So the recognition is not for Charles. The one who recognizes is everything. Recognizing itself has never been that it has never been Charles. Just everything. So that's why I always say you are that already. You are it already. Because it is it, dreaming itself to be a separate person. There's no real separate person. So this sees itself. When it sees Charles, it knows itself. It's not that Nkosi knows that Nkosi knows that is everything. No, it's everything knowing that it's dreaming to be Charles. But it doesn't know Charles, it knows itself. It doesn't see the other. It knows itself as nothing. Some would say it's unknowing. That's okay too.
You need to go soon.
Yeah, yeah. She's getting ready.
I imagine very dark streets on the way to the bus stop.
Yeah, it is very dark. It's just the two of us. Okay.
Is there the moon? Can you see the moon?
Yeah, sometimes I can see when there's a full moon. I can see it's when it's half.
Are there
I
other
can
people?
see some shooting stars. Sorry?
Are there other people around?
No, it's just the two of us just walking. It's very dark. It's very dark.
Do you take a flashlight?
Now, somehow we are able to see everything. You know, when you switch off the lights, when the lights have been switched on, when you switch them off, it seems as if it's very dark. But when the time goes on, it goes by the which is the scene that things are starting to appear. So, yeah, so it's like that. In darkness, we're able to see clearly everything.
Yeah, and it might take a while though. Probably take a half a
Yeah.
block or a block before you can start to see. Make down the road.
Yeah.
And there's never any
Yeah.
wildlife.
No, but the neighbors, they usually keep dogs around, some pets. Yeah. Pit bulls. Most of them are pit bulls.
So do they run free? So they come out and say hi?
Yeah, so some of them they used to come up, come out. Yeah, but now you don't see them around anymore.
Hmm.
There were times where we were walking and we saw some loosed uh, three pit bulls is walking towards us. Yeah, we just continued to walk as if they were never there, and then they just passed. But there was just that eye contact.
You did that Star Wars thing. So these are not the people you're looking for.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, Nkosi, thank you so much.
Yeah, welcome.
Talk to you next week.
Yeah, thanks.